Olympics opening night, our own superstars are ready to take to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain, live and uninterrupted. This is the opening race of the evening in T2. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box tonight by a new friend I have picked up off the street and thrown into the commentary box for the first ever time. It's a warm welcome to former T1 full-time driver and now Europol reserve, Bath Destroyer. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, well, I'm very good. Hoping we see a good Tier 2 race here today in Spain, and hopefully that penultimate corner glitch does not come to bite any of these superb drivers.
Unlike last week, we don't have 5 drivers. We've actually got 10 drivers tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. Here's the championship standings coming into this one. Lit were leading by 20 points at the race 5 mark on 88.5 points. Marcus is second on 68.5 points. All of the top 3 have at least half a point as well. Clubden is on 43.5 points in third for Toyota, with Rally Ralph in fourth for BWT Lechner Racing. Klimek is fifth for JL Fanatec WR2. The field rounded out by Razout Sen Manders, Sam Ross, Super Cepeda, Liberty, and Camo. Constructors' Championship, it's been JL domination so far, but the gap has been closed slightly. They do lead, though, on 117 points compared to Orlen F1's 89.5 points. Toyota F1 are third and 52.5 points. Vimto and BWT Lechner Racing are both tied in 45 points, with Trackhouse the only team in the field left with points. JD Motorsport and Shannon Racing are yet to get off the starting line. No real news to talk to you about in T2, so we are ready to get going for our qualifying session. It is very important to say tonight that there was a press release that came out saying we are aware of a bug that presently occurs in the penultimate corner of the Spanish Grand Prix track, which causes the car to either lose all traction or go airborne. We will treat the T2 qualifying session as a sort of test session. If the bug occurs frequently, all today's planned sessions in Tier 2 and Tier 1 will be cancelled and will not be rescheduled, so we could go down from a championship of 15 races to 14 races. Here we go, Bath Destroyer. It is the 6th qualifying session of the T2 season, and it is coming up live and next.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Wonder who is going to be on pole today. It could surely be anyone's, I think. But yeah, we're leading the championship. It's been a great season for him, and he's definitely the favourite, I think, going into this.
Well, he did say himself earlier on today that he isn't too confident around this track, but he does have a very nice history of finishing on the podium in every single race this season. He has been absolutely superb so far. Session has loaded in. We are at the Barcelona track. All is well. A lovely sunny evening in Catalunya. And a lovely sunny evening where I am, anyway. 18 minutes of qualifying to come.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see who's going to be the first one to come out on the track out of the 10 drivers, and see the first few tests of that dreaded penultimate corner. But hopefully there won't be too many issues for the sake of all the other sessions tonight. And who's that coming out of the pits? All the multiple cars coming out of the pits now.
Liberty Wake is going to be the first driver out onto the track. Liberty is, of course, sporting the Fan Zone Drivers and Constructors Championship on his bio. I have yet to meet someone who actually cares about Fan Zone, but hopefully Liberty is going to give us the goods around this track. Of course, came into the F1 calendar in 1991. Bath Destroyer wasn't alive, nor was I to see it, but obviously the incredible battle between Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna. It's been a mainstay of the calendar ever since. Of course, it's had some great races, but more often than not, it's had some absolute stinkers. You've drove around this track presumably hundreds of times, Bath Destroyer. What's it like to drive around, first and foremost?
Personally, I really enjoy Spain. Very good flowing corners. I particularly like, I'd say, Sector 2 was probably my favourite part, and I didn't really used to like it in the like 2021, 2022, but from 2023, I'd say, it's always Liberty Walk randomly goes into the gravel there.
That must just be preparation for whatever's going to happen if he has to take a base faction. Klimek's got a 5-place grid penalty already. That might be resolved. I don't know if we've stopped sessions for that in the past. But Liberty Wake coming around the final corner of this track, which was of course remodeled a couple of years ago, back in 2021, getting rid of the old turn 10, then a couple of years ago, back in 2022. getting rid of the old fidgety little chicane at the end of the lap, and bring back the old pre-2007 final two corners for the first couple of turns comes Liberty Waite in the BWT Lechner Racing car. He is, of course, 10th in the championship on 16 points, along with Super Supida. Klimek has been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way after picking up a 5-place grid penalty, so not the best start to the session for him, it's fair to say. Liberty coming through turn number 5, now slightly overshooting it. Does manage to keep within track limits though as he heads for the kink up turn 6 and then up the hill in towards turns number 7 of TV3 and up towards turn 8, and then the flat out, if you dare, turn 9 of Kamsa. Middle sector splits approaching very quickly. Ooh. But Liberty has lost it, has just about managed to keep it within not getting his lap time disqualified. But that is not the run he would have wanted. 54.8 in the middle sector to Bapstor.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not what we want to do on that first lap of the bank is always so important, especially in unpredictable sessions like this. But it looks like he's going to go again. He's recharged his ERS, and let's see what he can do on this one.
Luckily for Rally Ralph, it appeared to be no such problems coming through turn number 13. He took all of the curb on the outside and didn't go flying. He sets the fast lap time of the session. Next up is Sen Manders. He's been so quick. Invalidated his lap time though to go over 1 at 20.3. Next up towards the line is championship leader Litwa, the absolutely brilliant Litwa, it's fair to say, this season. He has been absolutely sensational in all 5 races so far, consistent to an absolute T. Here he comes up towards the line. Goes straight to the top of the timesheets. Cludden will follow him across next. Goes into second position with Razout next for Vimto Racing. Razout 6th in the championship, had a terrible race last time out. What's this qualifying lap going to give him? Third position, 1 minute 13.511. 13 minutes 50 seconds to go. Looking like the turn 13 problems aren't too bad, but you can see some drivers, especially Liberty on his first run, a little bit evasive. A Super Supida goes to the top of the timesheet, very evasive on taking the full run through turn 12 and 13.
Yeah, I don't blame them, to be honest. You do not want to be flying over that curb. As yeah, Super Supida with the best lap so far, 1:12.878. Got that podium in Imola in Tier 1 a few weeks ago. Sen Manders actually beats his time there by around 6/10. That's a great lap by him. But will he be able to keep it? It seems like most people on their in-laps now after their first laps. But yeah, very good first lap there by Sen Manders.
I think a lot of people will have a lot of chances to improve in this session, but Sen Manders certainly laying down the gauntlet in this early stage of the qualification session. This was, of course, the test session to see if we would be racing around this track. It does look like it's passed it so far with flying colours. Coming out towards that 12.5 minute to go section. Liberty's picked up a time penalty, or sorry, a grid penalty I should say, as Sen Manders goes past the careening car of Camo, who's back in T2, interestingly. Camo has, well actually Camo lost PlayStation Plus just a couple of hours ago, has managed to get it back before the start of the race. That's always good for him. We'll see what he's able to do. It's been a tough season for him whenever he has been racing, but hopefully for his sake he'll be able to get back on the pace.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if Liberty Walked and Camo, I think they must have had quite the collision, because Liberty Walked has wing damage there as he comes into the pits, and he was quite deep in the gravel, so be interesting to see if we can find out what happened there. But I like the VWT, how do you say it, Lechner racing car. I really like the pink. I'm a big fan of the pink. But yeah, Liberty in 6th right now. We've still got 2 drivers who have not set a lap, but Camo is out there. I think he's on a lap. He set a purple sector 1 according to the game, but you can never really trust them, from my past experience at least.
Yeah, I think that's always one of the big defining parts of a qualifying session, where the game is actually lying to you in the open runs. But Camo does appear like he is on a quick first line run. Coming up towards turn 9, the flat out camps up but nearly loses the rear end coming through turn number 9 there. It is a very risky corner. You got to put everything into it. 51.830 in the middle sector coming through turn 10 and up towards turn 11. Massive kick at the rear as he comes through the right-hander off turn number 12 in 4th gear, 150 kilometers an hour. Another massive kick at oversteer, and he backs out off the run.
Yeah, it was an okay lap until he got some bits of oversteer and a wheel spin there for Camose, who'll peel into the pits, nearly hitting that little parting in the wall there as he comes into the pits, which you definitely do not want to do. But yeah, 10 minutes left of the session. I'd say that so far, this Spanish track is definitely passing the test at the moment.
The vibe check.
Yeah. Who's out on the track at the moment?
Rally Ralph is going to start a flying run, so if you were to be very kind in your first real tests as a next-gen commentator, take us through the lap.
Yeah, here he comes down the pretty long straight, one of the longest start-finish straights, well, at least for the start of races, which is always nice. Braking just after that little concrete parting on the left, now swinging through this long right-hander. It's very easy to actually spin here if you take the wrong line, get too close to the inside curb, but he's nailed it so far, 3 tenths up on this lap so far as he exits sector 1 and goes into sector 2, where there's some relatively heavy braking zones like the one he's just passed there. Now he begins the uphill charge up to that quick right-hander. Another easy corner to spin there, touches the sausage curb on exit. Now through this corner, it's so easy to dip a tyre in the gravel, but he's nailed that as well, but he's very low on ERS at the moment. Which can lose you quite a bit of time, so that'll be fascinating to see if he does. But now through the final 3 corners he goes. Let's see if he gets close to this curb, and he does. And thankfully for Rally Ralph's lap, the curb does not bite him, and now across the line he goes. And it is an improvement, but it's only 6th for now, despite his half a second improvement.
Mediocre enough from Rally Ralph. Here comes Litwa coming up towards the line. 1 minute 13.096 was his first turn. What can he do on his second up towards the line? Goes into second, but he's still a tender 2 tenths off Sen Mandres, who of course is chilling in the pit lane with 8.5 minutes to go in this session. Rally Ralph coming in an in-lap. Marcus is on a flying run, heading through turn number 9. He nearly loses the rear, but just manages to keep it together. Middle sector split for him. It's going to be a 51.432, so not the worst intermediate split time there for Marcus as he comes up towards turn number 12 and in towards potentially what could be Death Corner. It hasn't been Death Corner so far tonight. Marcus using all the road on the outside of the track through turn number 14, flat out to the line, activates the DRS. Up towards the timing line, it is 3rd position, 30 thousandths of a second, or just about in front of Super Sapita, who's on an outlap. A comfortable 4 tenths though behind Litwa in 2nd position. It's been an interesting session so far, Bath Destroyer. Sen Mandres looks like he is impervious to anyone's attempts to try and beat him. Do you think that he's going to translate this form into the race? Do you think he'll be able to win this?
It's possible, but Litwa, I think he's just been so good all season, with him picking up 2 wins, 2 P2s and 1 P3 finish there. And he's actually reversing at the moment at the final corner is Litwa. I think he's trying to get into the pits, but Liberty Waters retired. I don't know what Litwa's doing. He's got underway again. I think he was probably trying to reverse back into the pits, but realised he was going to get disqualified. But yeah, as I was saying, I think
quite
it's going to be so...
there, I have to say. Quite stupid there from Litwa.
Yeah, I think it's going to be so difficult to beat Litwa. I mean, even in Tier 1 he's been superb so far this season, and yeah, even if Sen Mandres starts on pole, it is a very long run down to turn 1, and Litwa can get the slipstream and try and make a move into turn 1, which will be good for the excitement of the race, as long as he doesn't go off into the distance after that.
Camo's on a flying run at the moment, 22.075 in the opening sector split, 6 minutes 20 seconds to go in this opening qualifying session. I say opening qualifying session, it's the only qualifying session we have in T2. Opening qualifying session of the weekend. I've saved myself there, coming up towards turn 9 of Cam's 7th gear, 248 kilometers an hour. No such spin off the rear as he had in his last attempt. 51.636 in the middle sector for the newly anointed, newly subscribed PlayStation Plus member. Through turn 12, 4th gear, rising up the speed. Little kick of oversteer, but not too much of a problem through turn 13. Then towards the final corner, flat out, 255 kilometers an hour. Goes into 8th gear, goes into 5th. 1 minute 13.020. Yellow flag in the final sector for Litwa, who's going quite slowly.
I think he's
but
ran out
not
of fuel
really
there,
interrupting
yeah.
anyone. Yeah, he has, yeah. So Litwa's just coasting his way back to the pit lane here. But he will make it.
Yeah, he sure will as he peels into the pits now. We've got a few cars on the track at the moment. Camo obviously just doing that lap now that we saw.
I think Cludden's on a flying run. Is he on the flying run? It looks like he is. Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to him. Is he? No, he's way down in the first sector.
Oh, no, he's not. No one's on the lap.
So, 4 minutes 58 seconds to go in this session. Everyone raring to go. Everyone primed and ready for the final runs of this session. Will it be Sendmanders who will go out for a second run? He had 5 laps of fuel in the car. He said he overfueled again. That's a very, very ominous sign for the rest of the grid. Lit was in second. Marcus a long way behind in third position. The last 4.5 minutes are coming up. Strap in to your seatbelts if you have one. If you don't, well, that's quite dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. Razak will definitely need one as he starts his next lap. 113.511 for him at the moment. He can definitely improve on that. I think he's got it in him as he comes down to this first corner, braking just before the 50-meter board, touches that inside curb in turn 2. Now through the long right-hander, goes quite wide, dipping the left side of his car onto that red bit on the track, as he's actually a 10th up right now. Is Razak. P6 in the standings right now for Vimto Racing. But yeah, up the hill he goes now using all that ERS. Now through that section and now up to the quick right-hander. Doesn't touch the inside curb, which is quite safe to be fair, as can lose it on there. But he touches the sausage curbs on the inside of the long left-hander, now up the hill again towards the corner of death, but it's actually proved to be the corner of peace so far this qualifying session, and it's proven to be that again. Now round the final corner he goes, and there was DRS now across the line. What's it going to be for Razak? He's going to improve, but it's not going to be enough to gain him any places.
I have just received word that this year's Nobel Peace Prize is going to go towards turn 13 at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Not much action in the pit lane. Cludden, Camo, Super Speeder, Marcus, Litwa and Sendmanders have not emerged onto the track. Rally Ralph has, though. The Rally Ralph will be the first of the contenders to go for one final time. We do have movement now, though. Coming out onto the track is Super Supida in the Trackhouse racing car, followed by, I believe that is Marcus. It is 2.5 minutes to go. Everything getting a little bit spicy now.
Yep, everyone will be out on the track doing their final laps now. You'd hope so. So we'll have a full track of these 8 Tier 2 drivers trying to prove themselves for Tier 1. Quite a few of them have had a chance in Tier 1 so far this season, with the likes of Marcus and Litwa. Definitely getting involved near in the mid pack, and even at some parts being at the near the front. So yeah, most of them on their outlaps now. Razak going off the track there at the final corner as he goes into the pit. So we won't have all 8 drivers on the track now, but we'll have 7 as Rally Ralph now starts his lap.
This could be huge for him. We'll see if he can improve, but he obviously isn't going to be our biggest focus of these last 90 seconds, or 85 now if we're going to be overly specific. Another driver has retired. Razout has decided he will not be able to do anything else. Super Cepeda started a flying run in 4th position. Hasn't had the worst season in the world for Trackhouse Racing. Finally finding a little bit of form for the American outfit. Into turn 1 he goes. 3rd gear, 160 kilometers an hour, rising up the gears and putting his foot flat to the floor. Will of course remain flat out through turn 3. Wouldn't like to be Fernando Alonso heading through that corner on a cold February morning in 2015. First sector split, he's a 10th up, 21.745. Litwin and Marcus are underway on their final runs. We're going to come to their splits in a second. Marcus heading round turn 3 up towards that first sector timing check. Is it going to be an improvement for him? Yes, by 2/10. Is Litwa going to improve? We'll find out in a couple of seconds' time. Super Speeder coming through turn 7 and 8. Lovely line through there. Litwa at the first sector split. Is he improving? No, he's not. He's 26 thousandths of a second down. Back to Super Speeder as he comes out of turn 9 down the back straight. Middle sector split. Just 2 thousandths of a second up. Marcus is heading through turn 9 now, but the focus as well truly still on Super Cepeda. It's not going to be enough to get him up the order in any way, shape or form. Is Marcus improving? Yes, he is, by 4 and a bit tenths. Maybe Marcus is about to spring a surprise. We'll see what Super Cepeda is able to do. Coming out of turn 14 up towards the line. Is it an improvement for the Trackhouse Racing man? It is, by a 10th of a second. Here comes Marcus. Penultimate corner. Lit was improving by a 10th, and apparently there's a purple middle sector. We'll see if he can find the time in the last couple of corners. Here comes Marcus up towards the line. Will it be enough? Second position from him in 30 thousandths up pole position. Here comes Litwa, final corner. Is he going to be able to get back onto provisional pole position in the JL Fanatec car? No, he's not. He's 3rd, which means that Sen Manders, regardless of what happens, he improves anyway. He is on pole position, and what a brilliant end to the session that was, Bath Destroyer.
Yeah, great lap by Sen Manders. It looked like Super Cepeda had got up into that 3rd position, going into Sector 3 with that 2,000th improvement. Found a 10th in that final sector, which is impressive by him. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do from 4th position. Obviously, he'll be getting that slipstream down to turn 1 behind Marcus, who is 2 tenths behind Sen Manders on pole position. Very good lap by Sen Manders, but will he be able to keep it in the race?
It's a grid order then for the 6th round of the T2 Championship. Sen Manders on pole position, the front of the grid for him. 2 tenths in front of Marcus, 2.5 tenths in front of Litwin 3rd. Super Cepeda, Camo, Cludden, Razout, Rally Ralph, Liberty Weight and Klimek round out the grid. Klimek was disqualified. The race is live and uninterrupted, and of course it is next.
Yeah, here we go.
You seem very eagerly and optimistic for this one. You seem very happy about this.
Yeah, I mean, first race in the commentary box for next gen.
It's a great experience, isn't it, with a slightly deranged British-Irish lunatic. Anyway, welcome along, everybody. It is round 6 of the T2 Championship. Still a very long way to go. After this one, we'll have 9 rounds left. Nowhere near halfway, but we did get a third of the way through the championship last week. Still very, very sunny at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, which is hosting this race in T2. Of course, T1 will follow us in around an hour and 20 minutes time. We'll be live a couple of minutes after we're done with T2. Of course, it will be myself and Tim in the commentary box for that one. Bath Destroyer, of course, repping the T2 box for the rest of the season. We are very glad to have you with us. 23 laps to come, and the tension is building to an absolute fever pitch. I cannot wait for this one. It's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait. And here we go. We've got one.
Apparently, no, that's the formation.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry.
Lights, yeah.
Yeah, my the only other Liga commentators enough formation laps on, so I was completely in race mode there. But yeah, I was
thinking that I thought that first light would be on as soon as we went to the grid. Apparently not. It just came on for no real reason. Anyway, let's take a look at what tyre compound the grid are starting on, and it's all softs apart from Super Cepeda, who's decided to be the odd one out to start on the medium compound tyre. Very straightforward. Very, very straightforward indeed. What compound, albeit in a 23-lap race, would you start on, though?
I'm not really familiar with the strategy at Spain, personally. I haven't had a Spain League race, I think, in this game, but obviously it looks like it's the softs, with only Super Cepeda being on the medium tyre. So
Ryan
I'd say
Bannick,
soft.
Has left the session. I believe he was some form of race engineer. 10 drivers, in the lobby tonight, which is absolutely lovely. We're not going to be bored to death watching 5 drivers slug it out for half points. We are at least going to have some form of entertainment across which the next half an hour, it should probably be stated.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens on the grid launch, of course, because it's so hard to keep that first position running down towards turn 1. Of course, there have been numerous moments of controversy, notably in 2016, of course, where Nico Rosberg hit a switch he didn't really intend to hit. Lewis Hamilton went to the inside, and we all know what happened then.
Yeah, for sure. It will be very exciting and chaotic if we do see a collision like that today, but all these 10 drivers will be fighting for points positions. Which is kind of good because when you're out the points, you kind of lack motivation to keep going, but we won't have that today as all drivers now line up on the grid to get underway here under the sun here in Barcelona.
Terrible camera angle anyway.
Yeah.
But we are ready to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights for the 6th round of the season. Will it be Marcus? Will it be Litwa? Who will it be? We're underway and we are racing here in Spain. Good start from pole position for Sen Manders. Not much of a response from Marcus, who immediately goes to cover Litwa off as they head down in towards turn 1. It looks like Sen Manders will have the whole shot. In fact, he will have the whole shot coming down towards turn 1. Not much chaos. A couple of cars jostling for position. The camera angle has been very blurred as they head through turns 2 and 3. But it's mostly as you were, at least in the top 3 it is. Sen Manders leads Marcus from Litwa. And
who's that in the
Camo's
wall?
gone off. Camo's gone spinning around at turn 3. And Camo's abysmal T2 season continues. He is very, very far down the field now on this opening lap of the race. But Sen Manders leads from Marcus in 2nd and Litwa in 3rd, as you were in the top 3. Massive, massive collision there, apparently, for Camo. But after story, he's not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, I think they were like 3 wide through that quick right-hander, and Camo found himself on the
Liberty
outside.
Wakes has gone off
Ooh.
into the gravel. He's taken the old 1994 chicane route there. He was jostling for position, I believe, with Klimek coming through turn 9, and it has gone badly wrong for him, as he now falls down to 9th position. So 2 little incidents on this opening lap of 23, as Sen Manders rounds up an ultimate corner and then flicks it right once again for turn 14. He will lead the opening lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. He's come close to winning races in T2 before. This might just be his best opportunity yet. Marcus and Lit will follow him across the line. All of the field, at least down from 1st to 7th, separated at least within a 10th of the driver in front of them. We'll see what Lit was able to do. Of course, the championship leaders finished on the podium in every single race this season. We will be able to find out in around half an hour whether that trend will still be alive. Sen Manders leads.
Yeah, Sen Manders having a really good chance today to win the Spanish Grand Prix. But he will be challenged by the likes of Marcus and Litwa, who are still within a second of him. But Super Supida on those medium tyres is falling off slightly at the moment, as we've got Rally Ralph getting past Cludden there for P5. But yeah,
Ralph had a great switchback on Cludden coming out of turn number 5, and he was able to use that momentum to drag alongside for 6 and 7. But Cludden will fight back using DRS, and we'll get into P5. Here comes Klimek on the inside. That's not going to end well. Fortunately, it has. The battle's still alive, though, and Cludden has made contact with Rally Ralph. Klimek kills 2 birds with 1 stone, as Rally Ralph nearly kills Cludden coming out of that corner, resets the track, and will be disqualified from the race.
Yeah, shouldn't have done that, getting damaged there and going in the gravel. Yeah, I don't know what happened there between them. It looked like he was just taking a wide line, and then he just went into the gravel and definitely shouldn't have.
I think it was because he made a small bit of contact with Cludden coming in towards turn number 12 there, but his race is now over. There's no point in him fighting for anything now. He will be disqualified after the stewards get their hands on the videotapes at the end of this race. It sounds like it's in the 1990s. It certainly isn't. But this track has been around since the 1990s. Like it or loathe it, it has been an instrumental part of a lot of Formula 1 fans' lives, as the problem from Brazil arises again. Oh, big move for Sen Manders there, and a massive move from Marcus, because here comes Litwa. Litwa kills 2 birds with 1 stone. 2 Litwa takes the lead of the race.
Wow, and just like that, Litwa is in the hot seat, but Sen Manders isn't giving up. He's going round the outside, and it looks like he's got that P1's place back after that mistake. Yes, Sen Manders will definitely take a sigh of relief there.
Well, Litwell will be glad because he will have DRS, and he did crucially get past Marcus as they head down the front straight. It surely seems inevitable that Litwell gets into the lead, and he does. Lap 4 of 23. Litwell resumes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix, looking, of course, for yet another win this season. Sam Mound is taking a very aggressive line through one. Let's not forget Super Supede is in this battle now, so we've got a four-way tussle for the victory of the Spanish Grand Prix. Super Supede getting very close to the back of Marcus as they head through that first sector split and down in towards turn number 4.
Yeah, Super Supeda in the blue bullet of the Trackhouse car there. In fourth right now, and he's doing a pretty good job despite being on that medium compound tyre. And the longer he stays with the top 3 pack, the better it will benefit his race later on when he goes on to the soft tyre, I'm expecting at least. But yeah, here comes San Manders on Litwell. He looks for it, he goes down the inside.
Move. Interestingly enough for Litwell, he didn't give too much resistance. He actually opened the door quite a bit for Sam Manders, whether that was to get DRS coming on towards the front straight. We will find out. Both drivers around the same level of ERS, around 10% of a difference. Litwell will, of course, have the same chance he did on the last lap to get right back into the lead of the Grand Prix using overtake and using DRS. It's inevitable once again. Litwell pulls to the outside. Not much resistance there from Sam Manders as Litwell gets back into the lead of the race. Super Supeda dragging alongside Marcus into turn 1. He's still there on his inside, nearly making contact. Marcus holding on well there. Very good defense from him. Of course, the winner of the last 2 races for F1.
Yeah, Super Supeda nearly getting past Maka and Marcus there for that 3rd position, but staying behind him for now. Litwell was very smart there.
Big moment for Marcus there. Huge slide coming out of turn 5. Super Supeda sees his chance. Super Supeda goes all the way around the outside to get into 3rd position, heading up towards turn number 7 up the hill towards 9 now. Sam Manders will, of course, have DRS. He was able to get past coming into 10 on the last lap. Will Litwell give much resistance to him like he did last time? No, Sam Manders is a bit smarter there. But will they play DRS chicken? Will they be cheeky towards each other? It's certainly an action I've seen performed many times in the past. Sam Manders getting very close to the back of Litwell. It doesn't look like Litwell, though, will cede DRS at this point in time. Coming onto the straight to start lap 6. Will Sam Manders be able to do the reverse of what Litwell has done to him in the last 2 laps? Litwell slightly pulling away in the front straight. Sam Manders will have to do it a little bit later than he did. Coming up towards turn number 1. He'll be forced to go the long way around the outside. Can he do it? Emulating Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021, but Litwell holds on. Brilliant defensive manoeuvre from him, and Super Supeda is right in the back of them now.
Yeah, but it seemed like Sam Manders didn't really want to overtake Litwell there. He wasn't using any ERS for the whole of the straight, but maybe he just wants to stick behind him and see if they can pull away from the others. But yeah, Super Supeda doing very good in 3rd position right now on those medium tyres. And this top 4 in a whole different league of their own right now compared to the other 6 drivers in this race.
Sam Manders with a small lockup coming through turn 5 there. Of course, it is a tricky corner to get right with the undulation. It is very easy to lock your front tyres. Super Supeda locks his front left coming through turn number 9. The top 4 so close to each other, and Marcus especially close to the back of Super Supeda in the Trackhouse car. They will go onto the front straight yet again, absolutely nose to tail. Interesting enough, Sam Manders has 90% of his battery left. He might well just fly past Litwell on the front straight. He's a lot closer than he was at the start of the last lap. Litwell once again holding on, at least for now. Sam Manders will go right around the outside, and this time he will get the place. Super Supeda's up the inside as well. They go 3 wide into turn 1, but somehow they don't make contact as Litwell goes right around the outside of Sam Manders and Super Supeda. Contact made between the 2 leaders, but Sam Manders is right back in the lead of the race. What a brilliant battle. This has been a 4-way fight.
Yeah, wow, what a move there by Super Supeda into turn 1. Unfortunately for him, it didn't last, and it was very good by Litwell actually to get back involved there and almost
big moment there, Super Supeda. I'm not sure what's happened there. I was about to say, whenever you stop, that you don't really get surprised by these sort of overtakes anymore, but now Super Supeda finds himself in an uphill battle to stay within DRS range. I'm not sure whether Litwell was slow on the exit of turn 5 that caused Super Supeda to have that moment, but now he's in a very vulnerable position as they head through that middle sector split once again and head up towards turn number 12. And the last 2 corners, will Litwell be able to get past? Time will only tell.
Yeah, that's really not what Super Supeda needed. Not only just to stay with them for now, but he was nearly out of DRS as well. So yeah, that was almost curtains for him if he wanted to get a podium position as Litwa retakes the lead into turn one.
It's almost inevitable that Litwa gets it done on the halfway point of the straight. His defence when Sam Mendes has been up against him has been absolutely brilliant. Marcus and Super Speeder getting very close to each other. Super Speeder sees the inside. Super Speeder dives down the inside. Super Speeder makes the move on the inside. But crucially enough, for the front two, he's not within DRS range, and that's something he has to act on very quickly. Has to gain around 1/10 of a second, and he's wide through turn number 5-2. With that detection point coming up in the next couple of seconds. Sam Mendes, 3.5 tenths behind Litwa. We'll see if he's able to get the job done into turn 9 or whether he'll wait until the front straight. Super Speeder now out of DRS range, and that might just be his conquest, at least for now, on the race victory side of things, over and dealt with. Lap 8 of 23. You're watching Next Gen by JL. It's the T2 racer in the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya.
Yeah, Marcus, he got oversteer out of turn 3, which lets Super Supeda get that position, and Super Speeda's actually got back within DRS of Sen Mendes and Litwa, which was really essential for his race if he wants to get a higher position than P3. Not much happening down the field. Cludden is right behind Raz out for P6, but it doesn't look like he's going to get him into turn 1. Litwa leads here on lap 9 out of 23 of this Tier 2 race.
What I have noticed on the front straight is that Sam Mendes isn't using ERS whatsoever. He's just using DRS to aid his challenge to take the lead off the Grand Prix. Marcus now may be starting to struggle with those soft compound tires. Of course, they have been running them for 9 laps now, and they will, of course, lose a little bit of their grip and lose a little bit of their lifespan. He's really starting to struggle now as the front three looks like they pulled the pin, and it's almost like Tadej Pogacar dropped Jonas Vingegaard on the Tourmalet again. Sen Mendes within 3.5 tenths of Litwa. He's doing his utmost to keep to the back of that JL Fanatec WRT car. Litwa doing so well at the moment, though, in the lead. We'll see if he's able to defend first position. Small slide for Sen Mendes coming out of turn 12 and then in towards 13 and 14. And Sam Mendes pits. Sam Mendes comes into the boxes, so that is an instinctive choice from him. Marcus follows him into the boxes as well. So Sam Mendes and Marcus opt for the undercut. We'll see what they are able to do. As Super Savita's now got a chance to take the lead. The race is a little bit too far back. We'll see what Sam Mendes does as he comes into the boxes of his garage, goes onto the medium compound tyre. Marcus goes onto the mediums as well. Of course, Sam Mendes will rejoin in front. First big strategy call of this race.
Yeah, Marcus was actually falling away from the top 3. He was about 1.7 seconds behind, so it was quite smart by him to go into the pits with Sen Mendes there, and hopefully he could get back involved when Litwa pits. But it'll be interesting to see how long Super Supeda stays out compared to these lot. I mean, if he was to get a safety car, then that would make him put himself in the lead, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think that's looking very likely at the moment. We've only seen 2 collisions so far this race, and they were both on lap 1. Yeah, so
yeah, you'd like to think Litwa and Super Supeda will come into the pits on this lap. We'll see what they do. Litwa does come in, but Super Supeda obviously stays out, seeing he's on the medium compound tyre. So Super Supeda comes into the lead of the race. Will JL both stop their drivers? They do. Klimek will come into the pits. Won't have to worry about double stacking though, because the game doesn't know, or is not aware, or doesn't let us set the pit boxes. But crucially enough, the JL cars are quite close to each other, and Lit was slightly held up by his teammate coming into the pit stop, to the pit boxes there. So will Lit lose out to Sen Mendes? The answer is yes. Will he lose out to Marcus? It's going to be close, but Litwood does just about rejoin in for it by a couple of seconds, actually. Yellow flag at that first sector. Super Speeda's had a moment.
Yeah, definitely not what he would have wanted during this little part of the race where he is out in front and clean away from the rest. He's just got to keep it on the track and try and maintain the gap. But it looks like Sen Mendes, yeah, as you can see, Super Supeda's obviously made a mistake, because Sen Mendes did gain about 2 seconds at once there. So it'll be interesting to see when Super Stupida will pit. Sam Manders and Litwa and Marcus did around 9 laps of the on those softs, so
They should make
maybe
it to
he
the
can
end.
get to around lap 14, yeah, and then he will box, but he's got to keep that gap as high as he can.
I'd say for Super Stupida's sake, you'd like to think he's hoping for some form of a late race safety car here, because of course the undercut, as in real life, is extremely overpowered on this game. We saw it with Sam Manders getting past it, with Sam Manders coincidentally sets the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 14.412 on that medium yellow wall tyre. Super Stupida, interestingly enough, though, setting decent enough lap times. He is losing a little bit of time to Sam Manders, which is completely understandable. Fresh mediums against slightly warm mediums, but as you said, he will pit around lap 14, but he should make it towards the end on these tyres. The safety car would, of course, benefit him quite a bit. The safety car did come out, pit for the soft, managed it for a couple of laps, and full tilt towards the end. Doesn't look like we're going to see a safety car, though, at this stage. Razout's currently battling Cludden for P6. It doesn't look like he's making much progress on getting past him, though. But as it stands on lap 12 of 23, Super Stupida is leading a T2 race for the first ever time. It's Trackhouse's first ever time in the lead of a T2 race as well. He's been absolutely brilliant this weekend. We'll see if he is able to get at least onto the podium. We'll see if he's able to get the job done. Sam Manders second, Litwa third. Marcus is in fourth. Klimek has had a great recovery race. He's only 2 seconds behind Marcus. We'll see what he's able to do.
Cludden overtaking Vazout at the start of lap 13 on the straight as Super Stupida now on... Oh, he is on lap 13. Lap 12 then, the overtake Cludden did on Vazout. And it looks like he's pulling away from Vazout, but he's going to be in kind of no man's land now as the gap is 9 seconds there to Klimek. So he's just got to keep this place now and keep Vazout at bay as he closes the gap into
Just
turn 1.
a little bit of news to bring to you. Oxagrav has, of course, been fired from his position as team owner of Yusk Fiat. That means the team is up for sale. Cargo Boom has left your former outfit, Baptist Store of AbleJM Motorsports. That team is also up for sale. And interesting enough, Scuderia Abarth Tag Heuer have ended their share of the Abarth Driver Academy with the AbleJM Motorsports team. So that's obviously not what you wanted to hear, of course, as a former employee of that squad. Would you like to purchase it?
I just think...
We'll come back to you in a second. Super Stupida's pit. Super Stupida has pit. And interesting enough, his pit crew are in yellow overalls, despite the fact he's driving a completely blue and purple car. That's quite strange. On he goes onto the soft compound tyre. You were right about saying he pit on lap number 14, or at least he's coming out in lap number 14. But he will fall down the field at least in towards 5th, so we'll see what he's able to do in these last 10 laps, whether he will be able... Actually, no, he's right alongside Klimek, but Klimek will just about jump. We'll see what he's able to do in these last 10 laps. Whether he's able to do something. Razout has crashed on the final corner. Razout has lost a bit of his front wing end place, and his duo with Cludden, Julie, comes to an end. Back to that question, though.
Yeah, I think I might... I just don't think I'm active enough to be a team principal where I can get like 2 main drivers and a reserve, and I still lack a bit of knowledge in this league as I'm still relatively new about the drivers.
I'm going to check that. I'm going to fact check that to see if you're relatively new.
Season 4 I joined at the start of.
Fair enough, yeah. I've been here since like season 2, but I haven't been active since like season. I was active in start of season 2, but I've been here properly since season 4, and have been commentating ever since then. Quick broadcast notice that we will be live, of course, the T1 race after this one concludes. Well, a couple of minutes after this one concludes, of course. Tim, in his swan song in the Next Gen commentary box, he'll be, of course, joining me for live coverage of the 33-lap race around this track. We'll see what the main folks are going to do in T1, whether Bottas can get back into the championship races. Of course, won every single race participated in this season. That's coming up later on this evening. Razout pits, obviously, to repair his damage. His race and his season goes from bad to eternally bad.
Yeah, getting that wing on there. But yeah, as I was saying, I think Cargo told me about next gen start of season 4, and then round one in Qatar got my first and only podium to date at the moment. But hopefully I can get another one soon. At the moment in this race, not much going on. Everyone's mostly got a second or more gap to each other. Klimek is right behind Super Supida, but the Trackhouse driver is gaining on Marcus and is looking to overtake him in these next few laps.
That does beg the question, though. Will you be reserving for Europol tonight?
I'm not sure. I do not have the livery, but from what I've heard, I think I might be based. I'm not sure. Litwa just wants me to take one of my livery warnings and use the default one. Because I've not used any yet.
Of course, Litwa's been reserving quite a lot this season. Super Speed is right on the back of Marcus. He should be able to get this move done relatively quickly. Of course, he does have the advantage of being on a better tyre and a fresher tyre as well.
Yeah, it should be easy for him.
2.5 tenths of Marcus. Is he going to try and make the move into turn 7? I wouldn't advise it. He will probably wait, though, until the straight. At that point is now, he can launch a great little assault against Marcus. Yellow flag. Razard's gone off the track yet again. Razard's probably going to be lapped at some stage in this race. He will pit again. So Razard's championship goes from eternally bad to I want to race no longer, as English goes absolutely out the window. It's been an absolutely terrible season for him, and you really start to feel sorry for him.
Yeah, P6 in the championship. Despite that still not being too good, as there's only 11 registered drivers in the championship. Won't be surprised if
there's a couple more, I think, but they haven't raced.
Yeah, that's all the people that have points at least. I've just been using the current standings to help me today with the names of the teams and stuff, but not much happening at the moment. Marcus right behind Klimek though, so Klimek was behind Marcus, wasn't he? So he must have overtaken.
He was.
Yeah. But Super Supida begins his charge towards Litwa and Sen Manders, but 6 laps left. Does he have the pace? I don't think so.
It does look like he might settle for third. He hasn't actually broken out of Klimek's DRS range yet, which is quite crucial. Very important indeed. But if he does get third position, it'd be a huge result for Trackhouse Racing, who have of course burst onto the scene with Super Supida as their solitary driver. It would be a great result for the team, and it would be an even better result for Super Speed as he looks to stake his claim in getting a T1 drive in season number 6. He sets the fastest lap, good for him, 1:14.019.
Yeah, Trackhouse, definitely one of the underdogs this season. It will be great to see Super Supida on the podium as Marcus overtakes Klimek there into turn 1. For 4th position with around 5 laps left. Will he be able to keep it though? It seems like it's going to be very close. Marcus having 1 lap older mediums than Klimek, 32. Obviously that won't make too much of a difference, but it can still come into play. Liberty Walked as the only one with a penalty at the moment. I'm
actually surprised about that, to be fair, considering how track limits have been very prevalent in both tiers so far this season. So good to see that the drivers have been keeping it within the boundaries and the borders of the circuit. We're coming into the last 5 laps now, and Sen Manders has got a decent lead on Litwa. He should hold on. Super Supida maybe not gaining as much ground on Litwa as he would have liked, but he is putting in a very, very respectable performance for Trackhouse Racing. Litwa, of course, will be holding the lead of the championship. He will continue his reign of being on the podium in the opening 6 races. He thinks he's Michael Schumacher back in 2002. Is he the Polish Michael Schumacher? We're going to find out at some stage this season, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's been a great season for him so far. Around 20 points in the lead of the championship at the moment. And we'll be looking to extend that gap, although he is not in the lead. Marcus is his closest contender for the All-in F1 team in second, and then it is Culloden in third, with them two battling on track at the moment, but it looks like Klimek is going to come out victorious.
Sen Manders is going to leapfrog all the way to 4th position in the championship if my maths is right at this stage, and that would be very big for All-in F1, of course, who need the Constructors' Championship points. That battle's a little bit tighter in theory than the Drivers' Championship is, but we're heading now to 4 to go. The end of this race certainly coming very quickly. It's been a great race, I have to say. It's been very enjoyable to watch. I have certainly felt that it's absolutely flown by.
Yeah, yeah, it always feels like that when you're with two people in the commentary box. But yeah, it's been.
It doesn't
a decent
feel like
race.
that when you with. It doesn't feel like that when you're with a second person and there's 5 drivers around the track. But still, that's more so an exercise in patience and how your will to live is, instead of actually wanting to commentate on a race. It's absolutely awful, is what I'm trying to convey, and hopefully T2 will have some great attendance in the last 9 races of the championship season. Razard's got a 10-second penalty for ignoring a blue flag. After getting that warning, he has let Culloden pass, so he's been lapped by 6 drivers, which is quite sad and quite embarrassing, as Rally Ralph decides to pit from 8th position. Is this an assault for the fastest lap? We'll find out.
I'm guessing so.
I doubt he get it though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he can. But yeah, BWT Lechner racing there in 8th and 9th. Not very good performance for the team. But yeah, will Rally Ralph be able to get 1 extra point for them? We'll have to find out in that pink car of theirs with the BWT sponsorship. It definitely stands out as Super Supeda's actually just overtaken Litwa for P2.
Massive moment there for Super Supeda. Litwa, of course, relegated down to 3rd position, but it doesn't matter too much. What does matter is that Super Supeda might just be able to go on and fight for the victory of this Grand Prix. He does probably have a very little chance, I should say, a very big chance of finishing second and a very big amount of time to actually go and win the race, but anything's possible. You never know what will go down. 2 drivers will be lapped at the end of this race. That's Rally Ralph and Razard. Razard a long way behind in 10th position. The onslaught begins. 2.5 laps to go. A couple more kilometers around this circuit. Litwa probably not going to get back into P2. We'll see what he's able to do. Of course, it doesn't matter, as I was previously mentioned. He isn't losing any ground to Marcus. He is losing a little bit of ground, of course, to Sen Manders, who was battling him back in China. It was fair to say they had a great battle there for the lead. They were ace back in the rain-soaked Chinese Grand Prix. But Litwa, I think, could be very happy with his performance today, because he isn't the best around this track. He said that before. You'd like to think that it's been a moderate success for him and his team, with his teammate in 4th position as well. His teammate just in 4th position. As I say that, Marcus gets past.
Yeah, there's not been Litwa's best performance. Obviously saying, yeah, as you said, Spain isn't one of his best circuits, but he's still done good for the Fanatec team. Still a Super Supeda in his sights, and we've actually got Sen Manders there just getting past Rally Ralph there. I think Rally Ralph is actually trying to unlap himself on those softs. I'm not sure though, because he is improving.
That could play into the hands of Sen Manders, to be fair, because Sen Manders actually closed up about half a tenth on this half a second, I should say, on this last lap. Coming towards the white flag though, and coming towards 1 to go. Rally Ralph will have DRS on Sen Manders, but will get out of the way. He's seen the blue flags, he's seen the light. Litwa gets past and he takes the old chicane nearly. But as we head on to the final straight, we see the white flag. 1 lap to go in the Spanish Grand Prix. Super Supeda within 1.1 seconds. Could he do it? We'll find out.
Yeah, we certainly will. I think Super Supeda, he really needed that DRS from Rally Ralph. I was kind of just hoping for the excitement of this race that Rally Ralph stayed in front of him for a little longer.
Oh, big one for Sen Manders! Big one for Sen Manders! Here we go then, folks. Will Super Supeda pull off the absolute unthinkable? Sen Manders might just have cracked under pressure. And now the gap is 3.5 tenths as they head through turn number 5. Down into that undulating part of the track. Has Sen Manders finally bottled this race? How is his bottle? We're going to find out within the next 90 seconds or so, less than I should say. Coming up the hill towards turn number 9, Super Speedy getting very close, and he will have DRS. Let's not forget he's got the quicker tyre as well. Oh, Sam Manders is off! Sam Manders is in the gravel, and he's thrown away the race win, and Super Speedy is going to do it. Absolutely scintillating stuff, absolutely sensational. But Super Supida, after pitting for softs, we didn't think he was going to win this race. We thought he was going to get third. But out of nowhere, in the last 3 laps, he's come from third to first. And Super Supida is a Next Gen by JL race winner. Litwell will come home in second. It's a 2-3 for JL Fanatec WRT. Marcus will be fourth, loses a bit of ground in the championship battle. But Sen Manders throws away the victory of the Spanish Grand Prix. He was first just a couple of corners ago. He comes home in 5th. And what a terrible ending that is for him. Cludden will be 6th, Camo 7th, Liberty Wake 8th, Rally Ralph 9th, and Razau 10th. But what a dramatic ending. Bath Destroyer. What a great race.
Wow, what an ending there. And Sen Manders came back onto the track after that and actually made contact with Marcus and went into the wall again, putting salt in the wound for Sen Manders there, but just pushed his worn mediums too hard there, and Super Supida wins the Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix.
Tim was so confident, my friend, that he actually had the graphic ready for Sen Manders to win this race, but 2 mistakes in the final lap of the race sees the American take his first ever Next Gen by JL T2 victory. We were thinking it was going to be Sen Manders. Instead, we go from the Netherlands, and the race win crosses the continent to end up in the United States of America. The Polish duo of Litwa and Klimek finishing in 2nd and 3rd, their Constructors' Championship ambitions takes another massive encouraging step, but after 29 minutes 15 seconds and 1/10 of a second, Super Supida comes home to take the win of the Spanish Grand Prix. Litwa finishes 2nd. He increases his championship lead. He's been absolutely sensational so far this season, on the podium in every single race he's been in. His teammate Klimek is 3rd, Marcus is in 4th, Sen Manders threw away the victory of the race in 5th. Cludden 6th, Camo 7th, Liberty 8th, Rally Ralph and Razzo were both lapped, but what a Grand Prix that was. Super Supida saying all his neighbours probably hate him at the moment, but he doesn't care, and he has every right not to care. What a fantastic race.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Tier 1 to beat that race. What an ending, yeah. Super Supida, what a drive by him from 4th on the grid. Sen Manders cracking under the pressure there of the Trackhouse car, seeing him in his mirrors, and just couldn't handle the pressure there, couldn't handle the aura of the Trackhouse car, you could say.
Did you just say he couldn't handle the aura of the Trackhouse racing car?
Yes, he couldn't handle the aura, and that just gave Super Supida the win on the final lap. Unbelievable.
I am still in a state of absolute shock after that, because that was one of the races of all time, it's fair to say. T2 giving us an absolutely brilliant, thrilling, dramatic and scintillating spectacle. Sen Manders throwing it all away. Thank you very much for joining me, Bath Destroyer.
Yeah, it was a great one. Great to be by your side for this one. And hopefully we can see some more races like that in the future. But
well, he will be back. Let's not forget that the Next Gen by JL commentary box has gone under a slight change. Of course, Bath Destroyer will be with me for the rest of the T2 season, and of course Tim will be in his final 2 races in the commentary box. Now, from later on tonight, T1, of course, will follow us in around half an hour's time. Thank you very much, Bath Destroyer, for joining me. Thanks to you for watching as well. Oh my giddy aunt, what a Grand Prix. In the most dramatic fashion I think I've ever seen in this league, Super Supida, against all the odds, comes home to take an historic first win in this league. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in around half an hour's time for T1. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday night for more enthralling and hopefully as dramatic T2 action as that race. Thanks very much.